Hi guys, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto here in Japan, and we're taking a look at an auction purchase of the Mazda Infini RX-7 FC, and so that's a turbocharged version of the RX-7. This one, being the Infini model, is a little bit more special than the regular turbo version of the car because this is the lightweight racing version of the car, kind of similar to like an Impreza Impreza RA version, or an Evo RS version, or a Celica RC version. It is lighter weight, slightly more power, and has special equipment in it. And so let's have a quick look at this. This is a JDM only model. It's bought from auction here in Japan. It's going to be exported to the USA. Alright, first up, the engine is the same as the turbo one, except for the exhaust, which allows you to get an extra 10 or 15 horsepower, somewhere in that range, than the standard one. Engine running condition seems to be pretty good. It was running a little bit high RPM when it was cold, but now that it's warm, it's running well. The engine has no problems with starting either hot or cold, which of course with the rotary engines, hot start problems seem to be worn apex seals, cold start problems seem to be flooding problems. This one doesn't seem to have any problem. Before we get too much into it, this water that's underneath it, that just comes because this is our 5th car that I'm taking pictures of. The AC is running on all the cars, and each car makes this snake a little bit longer. Funny thing about Japan, and here's some JDM trivia for you, because it's so humid here, if the car is parked for 5 minutes, you'll get a huge puddle of AC water. It's just the condensation coming off of the condenser. Does that make sense? Alright, so we got Strut Tower Bar here. Now, this version of the car comes stock with a front strut tower bar made by Mazda Speed. It has been changed by the looks of it to a Cusco one, as well as adjustable pillow mount suspension. It does have a boost controller, but it's set at low boost right now, which is 5 PSI, and so I don't know what the high boost is. I did take it for a drive, and I have to say, if you have not driven one of these, you really owe it to yourself to try it. It is way more fun to drive than most modern cars. It feels very 90s in the absolute best of ways. The front feels really light compared to most cars, and the way that it steers, clutch, brakes, handling, suspension roll, it's just really, really nice. The FD is a better performing car, but this one has a unique feel to it that the FD doesn't have anymore, in my opinion. Okay, gonna close the hood. And aluminum hood in this version of the car, where the standard one got a big, heavy steel hood, and that's part of the weight savings. Also, there's less sound deadening material. Rear seats have been removed. Now, I know the US version of the car had no rear seats, I believe, but the JDM turbos usually had 4 seats. This one has only the 2, and has a set of lightweight, really cool Infini exclusive seats, which really blew my mind. It's my first time ever seeing them. Okay, let's take a look at the auction sheet here. 1989 RX-7, and it says limited edition Infini. It says here version 3. Now, version 3 is the one that Ryosuke in Initial D drives, I believe. I think this one's not a version 3. I think version 3 only came in white and another color, whereas the version 4 came in black and navy blue. I think this is a version 4 also because the seats that are inside match version 4 seats. So I think that guy's just wrong about it. Auction grade R because it's been in an accident. It looks like it's been a fairly big accident, which is a bit scary, but looking at the car in person, it doesn't look as bad as it could. We have a little bit of a bigger gap there than you would want, but nothing really stands out that much. It still handles and feels good when you're driving, and the car still looks really good. Now, the car's been repainted in a number of places and it has bad paint. I'll show you that in a little bit, but first off, we're going to finish with this. Okay, aftermarket exhaust, adjustable suspension, and a lot of marks here, so let's go over this pretty quickly. Seat wear and saggy, kind of the coolest seats that come stock in any car I've ever seen. Front and rear accident repaired. Trim comes up. Carpet cigarette burn aftermarket steering wheel, which is a bit of a shame. Infini's came with a special Infini only steering wheel made by Momo. Core support has been dented. Left front side member dented. Left front inner panel dented. Rear panel and floor dented, body scratches, aftermarket gauge, that's for the boost. And exterior has small paint peeling? No, paint unclearness. I'll explain this when I get to that. Various scratches and dents. Front bumper, super big scratches on it. W3 on both sides. Now be careful of W3 if you see this on the sheet. I wouldn't want to buy a car myself with W3 on it because it usually means it needs a repaint. Some people don't mind a car that needs a repaint, but this one has it on both doors, both rear fenders, and it is some pretty bad paint. And then the hood and the roof have lots of paint stains in it, so it needs a polish to get some of those paint stains out. See those little spots? And so that has probably been on the paint for a while. Will need to be cut off with a polishing pad. Okay, that's all the sheet. Not lots of information here. The seller didn't say very much otherwise. So let's take a look at the car. Already 6 minutes in, so sorry that took so long. Headlights up, because headlights up looks awesome. Okay, so these wheels are special to this version of the car and look way better than the stock wheels of the regular Turbo FC. I think they're made by BBS, but they do have Infini logo, which is an infinity sign. Kind of cool. Okay, you can see that infinity sign on the back there as well. Stock exhaust. This isn't the fastest version of the FC. In later generations, they got faster. You can usually tell because they have circular taillights instead of the square ones. But I think the fact that this one's limited and has the other race stuff and the lightweight, it's the better buy to get, in my opinion. And then you get to drive the same car as in Initial D, and you get to feel cool about that. Wheels are in good shape, which is really good because when you're buying wheels that are 30 years old on a car, you don't expect them to be in as good of condition as this. So that's a big plus. Okay, front bumper A3. It's all the lip and it's scratched up really badly. And so that lip, take off, paint, put on. And I think that might be an exclusive lip to this version of it, but I don't know. That one I do not know. Okay, of course, front top mount intercooler with a duct for it. Here we'll see the bad paint. Now look here, and you'll see all of these little bubbles. Do you see them? I don't know why I'm asking a question. It's like people on the other side of the computer are going to be like, yes, Derek, I see them. As if I can hear it. Okay, we have slightly wider tires in the back, 225s in the back, 205s in the front, and cool wind here, Michelin Pilot Sport 3s on the car front and back, so the previous owner knew what was good for him. And of course, Michelin Pilot 3s are always good for you. And they're 2014, and so they're still absolutely usable. Tread on the back is about 13. Wait, 2014's on the back, 2011's on the front. Fronts are older, but still kind of 70% tread. Backs are newer with 30% tread, so obviously the previous owner was somebody who enjoyed his car very much. Bad paint here, you can see kind of a crease line there. And some body damage. Now, this side here has some dents in right here. I'll show you those. That's kind of the worst body damage on the car other than the bad paint. Okay. So let's go to the inside now and you can see the coolness. And you're going to be very careful to touch this without hitting it. There we go. Okay, door cards are pretty standard fare until you look down here. Now, this piece here is stock for the Infini version because you're going to be going around corners fast. You don't want to hurt your knees. So on either side, you get a nice little soft pad to rest your knee against when you're pulling your close to 1G. I wonder if you, with these tires, you can probably get 1G with this car. That's cool. Okay, aftermarket steering wheel there. Seems to be in really good shape. Now let's look at the wonder that are these seats. So they are a full bucket seat. They are non-reclining and they are very, very comfortable. These ones have some wear and some pilling of the fabric, but are generally in really good condition. Considering they're now 30 years old, here's the sagginess in it, and unfortunately you would have to open this up and then redo that to get the cushioning back in. You don't notice that when you're sitting in it though, and that's just cool. Of course, these only work in the two-seater version because you can't recline them, or you can't make them go forward so you can get into the back. But you have these seats in your RX-7, you're going to be one of the only people in the States that have them. Interesting too, we got a roll cage here that was not mentioned. I don't think this is part of the car itself. I've never heard the Infinis having a roll cage in them, but I believe that they would. This roll cage might only fit in this version of the car. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Take a look in the back there. You are missing seats. And what's in there? Wow. Pretty spacious storage containers in the back. And they even have little lock places that you can lock them. You get lots of chassis stiffening. And this cage is attached here to the pillar, like a proper cage should be, and on the bottom and an extra point there. It isn't a cage that goes to the front, which makes it a good cage for daily. You have to watch which events you're going to be doing in motocross because some cages require points in the front. Okay, and these seats, for being a bucket seat, are actually really easy to get in and out of, and they're very cushy in the sides compared to most standard bucket seats. Okay, you got boost gauge there, got lots of gauges here. We got no overheating, which is a special feature, not on all RX-7s. Somebody put their own little vinyl strip here to kind of repair some of the dashboard. Mechanically it seems to be good. The steering feels good, brakes feel good, clutch feels good, the power feels good in it. And see, here's the boost controller with a low boost. See, it's right down there on minimum. I don't know what this is, VFC Pro, don't know. We get some of this, and we get some of this without the stinky stuff that usually comes inside these. Inside of the vehicle, this is really, really weird. The inside of this vehicle, it had a really familiar smell to me, and then I finally got it. It smells like dill pickle potato chips. And if you think that's weird, it probably is. I think they only sell those in Canada, or at least they did when I was a kid. I just thought that they were regular and everybody eats dill pickle potato chips, but I guess that's not the case. And it's a Canadian thing. So here we have the back. I quite like how the spoiler is not part of the back hatch. And funny little anecdote here, in Japan, a rear spoiler has to be mounted on your trunk to meet regulations. This one's not, and so this doesn't currently pass the Japanese regulations for a spoiler. Okay. Spare tire is back here. In fact, I can open that to show you. Turn the little things. Small spare tire in there. And carpeting is in immaculate condition. And so we have a car here that is a rare spec. Condition is good with some bad paint on it. And now I know how much that this sold for, and I would be very happy with this car at that price. Unfortunately, I can't tell you guys because I'm a secret guy that has secret things about prices, and so I'm not going to tell, but it is a really good deal. And a little bit of a warning. When you're buying at auction, the intent should not be to go get a really good deal at auction. The auction prices, even at average, are a good deal because they're what the dealers pay to buy their cars to stock their inventory. And so trying to get below average on an already good price sometimes ends in getting a bad car. In fact, more than half of the time it'll end in getting a bad car. Sometimes you have reasonable bids and you just end up getting lucky, like in this case and in that case. And so that's yes. And I think that that one was a little bit more expensive than the quality of it. And then I thought that one was better than the quality. And so there is some hit and miss, but it should never be your strategy to try to get the cars at lower than average prices. So, word of advice there. Alright, that's going to be the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. This is a very unique and cool car. So, that'll be the end. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a nice day.